Greetings and salutations, folks. Welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, Stefan Love, and today we're going to be going over, let me see, is it two or three topics? It's basically two topics, but it's really three. No, it's just two topics because I'm going to do a small recap of week 17 and I'm going to make my picks, which will also be my projections for the next week or my playoff projections. So, first off, let's talk about week 18. Let's talk about a few games from week 18. If I had to make a power rankings list, the number one team on that list will be the Baltimore Ravens, and then it'll be everybody else. The Baltimore Ravens right now are by far are the by far the best team in the National Football League, and it's not really even close. The way they just dismantled the Dolphins, like I had the Ravens winning, and I probably said it could be a double-digit win, but I did not expect it to be a 56-19 victory. Like the Dolphins, they gotta figure some stuff out because every time they play like a legit team, like besides the Cowboys game, which is probably their best win on the season, and even some people are calling that win. And well, even some people aren't really giving them credit because the Cowboys are frauds. So a fraudulent team beating a fraudulent team cancels each other's out to some people or whatever. But yeah, the Baltimore Ravens 56-19. I said last week, I didn't say it on camera, I don't believe, but I said last week I kind of still lean Christian McCaffrey in the MVP conversation. Never mind. Lamar Jackson, he is going to win his second NFL MVP, and he deserves it. He had a perfect pass rating, 18 for, no, 18 of 22 for over 300 yards and 5 passing touchdowns. He was amazing in that game. So yeah, Baltimore, best team in the NFL. Second game I want to talk about is the Eagles and the Cardinals. The Philadelphia Eagles, we kind of over exaggerated them losing both their offensive coordinator, Shane Steichen, and their defensive coordinator, Jonathan Gannon, which a lot of Eagle fans say he was not that great, and I kind of agree to a certain extent. But that defense has fallen off significantly. And I want to give credit to the Arizona Cardinals. Kyler Murray, he's proving all the haters wrong. People say Kyler, he's not that great or whatever. He's overrated. He's proving you guys wrong so far. Although the Cardinals are 4-11, 5-11, I think if they play their cards right in the draft, the Cardinals can be a contender next year in the playoffs. Well, in the NFC. Eagles, they lost their chance at a home game at the NFC East, but I I wouldn't take that. What's the word I'm looking for? I would just take not having a home game in the NFC with a grain of salt. Because right now, how it looks like in the NFC, or the entire NFL at this point, besides the Baltimore Ravens, anybody can beat anybody. And once you get to the playoffs, all you need to do is win 3 games to get to the Super Bowl. That's it. 3 games. It's very easy. Well, not very easy, but it's very common to win 3 straight games in the NFL against very good teams. Hell, they did it this season. Who did they beat? They beat the Cowboys, Chiefs, and Bills. I don't know if it was in a row, but I believe, yeah, whatever. The next game I want to talk about. The next game I want to talk about is the controversial Lions versus Cowboys game, which ended in a controversial call of illegal touching on the Lions. And NFL officiating has been so bad this year. Like it's always been bad, but this year it seems like it's been 10 times worse. Because before, I always used to be like, well, yeah, the refs are going to make bad calls. It is what it is. But this season, it's gotten so egregious. And more than likely, the NFL will never fix the problem because we continue to watch the games. We bitch and moan about what happens this week, and then next week we're going to be sitting we're going to be sitting on our behinds watching the next game. And as long as we're doing that, it will not hurt the NFL's pockets. So yeah, I just want to give my input on NFL officiating in that game. Both teams played well. The Cowboys, Lions, they will be contenders in the NFC, and hopefully, well, I was about to say hopefully we see them in the playoffs again, but like there's a reason but I'm a Packers fan, and if we beat the Bears this week, we're more likely to be playing the Cowboys. So like I don't know about that. So yeah. Now next, I want to get into my week 18 playoff predictions. So let me pull up the other screen. No, Safari, just Chrome. So here we go. In the first game of the Saturday doubleheader, we have the Baltimore Ravens taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, this game is kind of hard to predict because more than likely the Ravens will be resting their starters. At least their starters, I think, will play maybe a possession, a quarter, maybe even the first half. But more than likely, their starters will not be playing in the third or fourth quarter. So I don't know who to pick. I'm gonna pick the Baltimore Ravens because I still think they are the better team top to bottom. So give me the Ravens to beat the Pittsburgh Steelers. Next, we have the Houston Texans and the Colts playing in a win and you're in game on Saturday night. I think most likely this will be the game where Joe Buck and Troy Aikman will be commentating. And this game's kind of tough to choose because I think the Colts are a very good team, but the Texans have the better. I don't know what to say. I think the Texans will beat the Colts. Let me just say that. But I think I'm excited for this game. I think it's going to be a very good game. Now, for next, we have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers taking on the Carolina Panthers. Buccaneers, they got embarrassed by the Saints. It was almost a shutout. I believe the score was 23 to 13, I believe, because they took away the 2-point conversion. But the Buccaneers, they should beat the Panthers. If they don't, then maybe we should be questioning their future, and maybe they should be looking into a quarterback beyond 2024. Next, we have the Cleveland Browns taking on the Cincinnati Bengals, and this is another game where I think the Cleveland Browns will be resting their starters. I think because they're locked into the 5th seed, so win or lose, they're not moving up or moving down. I would not be surprised if they rest their starters, but I think they'll beat the Bengals anyway because they kind of just have the Bengals number over the last 3 years, 4 years, I believe, or whatever. They've always beaten the Bengals. Next, we have the Minnesota Vikings taking on the Detroit Lions. And from Sunday Night Football, the Minnesota Vikings, although they have a chance to still make the playoffs, they need a lot to happen. I don't think all that's going to happen. Give me the Lions to beat the Vikings in this game. Next, we have the New England Patriots taking on the New York Jets in another meaningless football game. I think the Patriots will beat I'm picking the Patriots to beat the Jets because Bill Belichick owns the Jets. Next, we have a meaningful game here. New Orleans Saints versus the Atlanta Falcons. I believe if the Panthers win... Oh, I don't know. Hold on. Let me try to switch something up here. Yes, so if the Panthers beat the Buccaneers, the winner of this game will get the NFC South. I am going to pick the Saints to win this game. No, I'm picking the Falcons to win the game because whenever we think the Falcons are dead after losing a game, they just somehow magically win the game next week. So I'm picking the Falcons to beat the Saints in this game. Next, we have the Jacksonville Jaguars taking on the Tennessee Titans, and also a meaningful game because if the Jaguars lose this game, the winner of Colts and Texans gets the AFC South. I am picking the Jaguars to win because this is a more meaningful game. I think Trevor Lawrence, hopefully he plays this week. Hopefully he's a bit healthier. So give me the Jaguars to win this game. Next we have an NFC. Well, all of these matchups are division matchups. Next we have the Seahawks versus the Arizona Cardinals. I think the Seahawks will win. I kind of want them to lose. I want them to lose because I'm a Packers fan, and them losing just increases our chances of getting to the playoffs if we lose to the Bears. So give me the Seahawks to beat the Cardinals, but I would not mind a Cardinals win. And speaking of the Packers, they host the Chicago Bears at Lambeau in a win and you're in game. Hope I am going to pick the Packers because I'm never picking against them, but I am kind of worried because we struggle against mobile quarterbacks. Hell, look at Tommy DeVito a month ago or three whatever weeks ago. It's almost a month ago. We struggled with him. And Justin Fields he's probably the most elusive quarterback in the NFL right now, besides Lamar Jackson. I personally think he's more elusive than Lamar Jackson. But I'm picking the Packers. It's a winning game. This game means something to us. And if we win, we get to the playoffs, and we will most likely be playing the Dallas Cowboys. Next, we have the Kansas City Chiefs taking on not the Arizona Cardinals, taking on the Los Angeles Chargers. And this game is another case of a team resting their starters because the Chiefs are locked. No, hold on. I don't think they're locked in, are they? Wait a minute. Yes, they are locked into the 3 seed. So, yeah, so they might rest their starters. They might play a quarter or two, or maybe just a possession. They're locked into the 3 seed in the AFC, but I will still pick them to beat the Chargers. Next, we got the Las Vegas Raiders hosting the Broncos in another meaningless game to both teams. I'm just picking the Raiders to win that game. Now we have the Eagles versus Giants in a game. I am picking the Eagles to win, but the Eagles, I would not be surprised if they just drop this game. The last 5 weeks, they have not been themselves. Hell, for the entire season, Eagle fans will tell you they have not been themselves. So give me the Eagles win this game, and if the Cowboys lose, they get the NFC East and the 2 seed. Next, we have the Los Angeles Rams taking on the 49ers in another case of a team probably resting their starters. And if the 49ers rest their starters, I think the Rams will win this game. Even if it's for like a half, I think the Rams will win. Compared to all the other games of teams potentially resting their starters, I think the Rams have a better chance of winning their game. So I'm picking the Rams to win this game. Next, we have a win and you clinch the NFC East game. The Dallas Cowboys visiting the Commanders. I already see a few Cowboy haters saying, oh, they're on the road, they might lose to the Commanders. They won't. They're going to beat the Commanders, and it should be convincing. So yeah, give me the Cowboys to win this game. And then on Sunday Night Football, in the last game of the season, game 272, we got the Buffalo Bills taking on the Miami Dolphins for the NFC East. For the AFC East. And the Bills, if everything goes according to my prediction, they would have already they've already have clinched a playoff spot. But let's just say if the Steelers knock off the Ravens, the Bills will be playing for their playoff lives, I believe. Let me see, hold on. Yes, they will be playing for their playoff lives. So if the Steelers beat the Ravens and the Bills lose to the Dolphins, they will not make the playoffs. With that being said, I am choosing the Buffalo Bills to beat the Dolphins. I do not think the Dolphins are not. I think they're a good team, but I just think they aren't that good to get over the hump. So I will be taking the Buffalo Bills to beat the Miami Dolphins, win the AFC East for the fourth year in a row, and there will be playoff football being played in Western New York for the fourth year in a row. So yeah, as it look, my current playoff matchups right now in the AFC, the 49ers will have the 1 seed, they will have a bye. Wild card weekend will be Cowboys hosting the Packers. Matthew Stafford returning to Detroit with the Lions hosting the Rams and the Eagles heading to Tampa Bay. In the AFC, the Ravens will have the 1 seed. You will have the Houston Texans heading to Buffalo, the 7 versus 2 seed. The Miami Dolphins, you got Tyreek Hill returning to Kansas City. And then we have the Browns and Jaguars, which might be the only game where the wild card team is favored. Oh, no, because you have the Philadelphia Eagles and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But yeah, so Browns visiting the Jaguars. I expect the Browns to be favored in that game, and in the NFC, I expect the Eagles to be favored over the Buccaneers. So anyways, guys, those are my predictions, and thank you for watching this video if you watched it.